How's it going, everybody? It's the Ecig Examiner here, and today I'm going to be reviewing another e-liquid from a company called Five Ponds. But before we get to that, if you noticed, I'm in my new studio. We built it all up. This is actually 10 foot tall, if you believe it or not. This is basically a rollaway set right behind me. We moved into a new house. And the garage is 20 foot by 20 foot, and we just had so much extra room that we can put new sets inside of. So we just started coming up with ideas, and so behind us, right over here behind the camera, there's a wall that's a brick wall. Right over here, right next to me, to my right, is a white screen that we usually shoot on most of the time. If you flip it over, it becomes black. Then right over here, there's a green screen that is actually 14 feet long by 10 feet high. And we don't really use it that much, but that is definitely our go-to screen when we want to do any kind of special effects in the background of the screen or make a virtual set in the back of it. But I have been out of commission to do the reviews for about 2 to 3 months now. Everything's up and running. When we moved into the house, if anyone's ever moved, you know that you have a lot more stuff than you imagined. So when we moved in, the whole entire garage was full. So we didn't have a studio that we can shoot videos in. But let's dive in to this e-liquid and be right back. So, Mixology edition. I was expecting them to come out with the Mixology edition. It was supposed to be a couple weeks after ECC was done, and that was back in the beginning of 2014. I think it was January, if I'm not mistaken. But they delayed it I think it was like a month and a half or something like that. Then they finally came out with it. And I mean, given that extra month and a half, it just gave a whole bunch of people like raving about it, and they were so excited for it to come out. Me personally, I was really excited for it to come out because they were saying that all of the e-liquid, all of the 5 that they were coming out with, were going to be all basically alcohol type flavors inside of them, or based on alcohol flavors. So most of the ingredients inside of it, it's like exotic fruit, citrus, liquors, berries, herbs, roots, champagnes, clear spirits and spices. And it just, in my opinion, it makes it to where, like, when the juice is gone, you kind of want to go back and purchase your favorite juice, you know? And it's definitely a premium e-liquid. It's a 50-50 blend, of 50 PG, 50 VG, but it still blows clouds. I'm not joking you. There's definitely a throat hit that's still there from the PG, but definitely in a 6 milligram, it packs a punch. Let's see. Blow a couple clouds for you. I mean, it's not bad for a 50-50 blend. Definitely gives you the vapor production from maybe, let's say, if you were vaping on a juice that was 70-30, 70 being the VG and 30 being the PG, it's definitely up there in comparison with the 50-50 blend. But it's an amazing e-liquid. But let's start off with their first e-liquid that I actually tried when I got the box and the package from Vince from Five Ponds was the Castle. I was quite surprised that they would have even added the Castle to the Mixology edition line that they came out with, because the Castle was supposed to be their once a year, maybe twice a year release, because they had to age it in oak barrels, and there's just so many processes that happened before the e-liquid could even be bottled. And there was a lot of hype about the Castelong, and I heard a couple rumors saying that they were going to add a different variation of Castelong into their Mixology edition. And I was like, no, there's no way. Just because the plain fact is that the Castelong is supposed to be their exclusive, that they only come out with maybe once or twice, you know, every year. So I was quite surprised that they were going to come out with it in their Mixology edition. And if you've never tried Castelong, Castelong is like, it's like a bourbon with like a roasted coconut and a almond type flavor. There's some caramelized brown sugar in it. You could definitely taste like a, I wouldn't say like an aged vanilla, but it's definitely a different vanilla than like a vanilla bean or a French vanilla or any kind of vanilla like that. It's definitely out there. It's different vanilla that you've probably ever tried before, because the vanilla is from Madagascar. So it's Madagascar vanilla bean and laced with caramelized brown sugar. Let me read the description of the Castelong. It's our non-barreled, aged version of the combination of dark, refined of Kentucky Bourbon, extended with toasted coconut, roasted almonds, and Madagascar vanilla bean, laced with caramelized brown sugar. I mean, just reading that description kind of makes you like wonder how the hell they got all of those flavors into a bottle of e-liquid, and then you vape that bottle of e-liquid, you know? So it's like kind of mind-blowing how they can get all of these fantastic flavors into an e-liquid that you basically just drip on your atomizer, or you know, put in a caramelized tank, or put in a K-Fun, or whatever you do with it. And it's just mind-boggling that you can taste every single part of what that description said, you know, because on the inhale of the Castelong, there's definitely a bourbon flavor, followed with the roasted coconut and the roasted almonds. And then when you exhale, you kind of taste the vanilla bean with a little bit of the brown sugar, just because the plain fact is that the vanilla is like a sweeter vanilla that you're used to, you know? So in my opinion, this Castelong is a little bit lighter on the bourbon flavor aspect of it than the Castelong that's actually aged in the oak barrel, you know. But it's definitely, I would definitely recommend that flavor. I will be doing another review singly for each one of the e-liquids, because this is basically just every single one of them all in one video, and I want to get more in depth with each one of the e-liquids so that you guys can understand it a little bit more than what I'm explaining now, because it's just kind of like a short, you know, review on each e-liquid right now. And their next one is Lucina. The definition of that one is it says also capturing the characteristics of a dark sprit in our spiced rum mixed with a juicy clingstone white peach, creating the flavor harmony of a fruit cobbler with a savory reduction sauce, garnished with a freshly shaved hazelnut. That's a great description. That kind of makes your mouth water a little bit when you're reading that, you know? So, I mean, that in itself is, I mean, how are you going to get all those flavors inside of an e-liquid? I mean, it's just kind of mind-blowing to me. It's definitely a premium e-liquid. And that one, Lucina, is more, in my opinion, of a spiced peach cobbler. If you've ever had peach cobbler before, you kind of taste like a vanilla whipped cream on top of like the freshly baked, like hot peach cobbler. And then could kind of taste the hazelnut a little bit, but it's definitely overpowered, in my opinion, by the peach flavor of itself. But it's definitely more of a spicy peach. And the next one is 64, and their description is, this is the first of our flavors that utilizes a clear grapefruit liqueur with a dark, refined cognac. The light and refreshing blend is reminiscent of a chilled mojito hybrid. We have combined cucumber, lemon zest, and muddled mint with a hint of dill. Okay, so when I first tasted the 64, opened up the wrap on it, because these come with, they're sealed with a plastic cellophane wrap on top. Opened it up without even opening it. Right after I even took it out of the capsule, I smell dill. And I was like, okay, so they put a seasoning that you put in tacos or in like chicken or whatever. Definitely reminiscence of a dill pickle when I smelt it. So then I vaped on it, and it totally tasted like a pickle when I first started vaping on it, because my senses were smelling a dill pickle, you know. So then on top of that, it tasted like a dill pickle just because I smelt it, you know. But then I went online and I was like, okay, hold on, let me figure out what this flavor you know, profile is, because there's no way that they would make a dill pickle e-liquid flavor, you know. So then I found out that it was a grapefruit liqueur with a dark refined cognac. 64, not really one of my favorites of the 5 of the Mixology edition, but it definitely has a good flavor to it if you like dill, but I'm not really a fan of it too much. But their next one is called 5th Rank, and when I first vaped on 5th Rank, I was like, oh no, you know, this is another menthol flavor. So then I vaped on it again. Still tasted like menthol to me. And I'm not too much of a menthol vapor. I never was a menthol smoker. I was more of like a Camel Royals guy, or, you know, Camel Silvers or Camel Golds. The more of the smoother Camels and smoother cigarettes that are out there. So I never really smoked menthol cigarettes, so I never really wanted to vape menthol flavors, just for the plain fact that I don't like the burning that happens in your throat when you smoke a menthol flavor or whatever. So I was thinking, hey, you know, I'm not gonna like this one at all. But then once again, I went online and I checked it out, and their description is a lively blend. It's reminiscent of the lost vintage drink known as the Lime Ricky, but with a sweet champagne substitute. The Everson note of horsehound herb is counterbalanced by a sweet cream, vanilla bean, and a hint of roasted almond with a twist of lime. That description sounds exactly like a mixed drink, and that's exactly what all of these Mixology editions are supposed to be reminiscent of, because they're all supposed to have little bits and pieces of alcohol, hints of flavors in them. I actually have 5th Rank in my K-Phone right now, sitting on the Ember Mod by Gold Armor. Let's take a little toot here. Got a cotton build in there with a 1.8 ohm coil. And the flavor is amazing on the K-Fun. I mean, when they first came out, I was like, dude, that's $150. And then I was like, I kept trying it at vape shops, you know. Actually, at the Five Ponds shop in Irvine, all of their e-liquids are in K-Funs. So then I was like, okay, I tasted all of their flavors in a K-Fun. I actually tasted all of these flavors inside of a K-Fun when I was there, and Vince was kind of like, oh, I'll show you my favorites of, you know, all of the Mixology edition. I was like, okay, cool. So we started off on the Castellong, and I was like, oh, dude, I tried that one. That was the first one that I tried when I got the package, you know. So then he was like, oh, yeah, really? You know, that's my favorite one, and the fifth rank is my second favorite one, you know. And we just kind of kept going back and forth. And, I mean, the K-Fun is definitely a game changer in my opinion, because you know, you can't really get that kind of flavor in a cardo tank or, you know, a protank or, you know, an aero tank or anything like that, because there's just so many variations that you can do in the K-Fun. You could put eco wool, you could put silica, you know, you could put organic cotton, and it's just all of those different wicks give you different flavors and different wicking possibilities and all that. But I mean, this cotton, let's get back to the review. The next one is Protank Czech, and our tart unique blackcurrant liqueur makes this delicate blend of citrus, lemon, sweet fig, and barley with a cinnamon stick finish, complete with a warm and inviting addition. So, Protank Czech. I'm an iced tea drinker. And actually one of my favorite iced tea flavors is blackcurrant tea. So I was thinking, hey, you know, blackcurrant iced tea, they might be the same thing. But when you taste the blackcurrant liqueur inside of the Protank Czech, it's a lot different than when you have the blackcurrant tea. And it's just definitely, in my opinion, a different variation of blackcurrant. It has a cinnamon aftertaste, really, to me. It's like a hint of it, though. There's not really much. It's not like the same as getting, like, you know, the cinnamon flavored toothpicks and putting that in your mouth, or even eating like some big red chew gum or whatever. It's definitely a different cinnamon flavor. It's more of like a sweeter cinnamon compared to like a spicy cinnamon. But the Protank Czech, it's definitely another one of my favorites. That one was probably gone within first week and a half, 2 weeks that I had it. But the Castellong was the first one to go. That one only took me about a week for me to finish that one. But just to finish it all off, I mean, I like the packaging that they started doing with this one. It's a lot different compared to their older packaging that they had. This is more of a lighter tan, old paper type thing going on. I have their other older bottle right here, and you can definitely tell that that's more of an older paper type thing, but it's a little bit darker than the new Mixology edition labels. It's definitely consistent with their other one. This has red lettering on the older bottle, and this one, their signature, and this one is blue on here. It says signature vapor liquid, and that one's blue. But this one is signature vapor liquid in red. That's one of the only differences that I really saw on it. They did move the must be 18 to the side of the bottle, or the side of the canister instead of it being on the bottom of the canister on this one. Well, little differences, not really much, but they definitely improved the label a little bit, in my opinion. But there was another thing that I saw. This one is the lighter tan. Then you go to Lucina, and this is a darker tan. So maybe this one was an older lot, or this one was a newer lot. This one says lot number 10 on it. This one says lot number 12. So maybe they were just bottled at a different date or something like that. That's all I could really imagine. That they might have changed the labeling after they did a couple of them, and then they came back, changed them. But it's definitely a new liquid that you want to try. If you don't want to purchase all 5 of them in 30 ml bottles, I know on their website they have a sampler pack that's all 5 of the bottles, and 4 milliliter bottles, kind of this size, and that's only $23.50, I believe, or $26.50 or something like that. And you get all of the flavors, but it's just in a 4 ml bottle. So you get a taste of it first before you go out and purchase the 30 ml bottle, which is $23.50 or $22.50, I forget. But I'll post the link in the website below for you to go check it out for yourself. And that's basically it. Definitely be seeing more videos from me. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos this week. Tell me in the comments below if you like how this set looks, or if I should switch it off over to a white screen, or whatever you want to see, and or the lighting color right behind here. Right now I have it just on fade, where it fades in between all the different colors. Tell me in the comments below if you want me to put a different color back there, just a solid green or purple, or you know, whatever. Remember, stay strong and vape on. Have a nice day.